Welcome back to another episode of the Dan O'Neill Show, brought exclusively to you here at Coke Interactive. This is episode 9. We took a brief hiatus after having Sirhan from $1 Million Listing and our last episode, Mike Fulfrey from $1 Million Beach House. But we are back, and we are back with episode 9 with two very special guests. I would even dare say the most important guests so far. For those that do not know, my name is Dan O'Neill. I'm 27 years old. I'm the founder of the O'Neill team at Signature Premier Properties, the #1 real estate team on the island, subjectively, soon to be objectively. But enough about me. Today we have on two of my favorite people in the world, and I truly mean that. My broker owners, I'm not just saying that because you guys are my boss, but the founder of the company that we work for, Peter Morris and Kathy Viard of Signature Premier Properties. Thank you guys for taking the time. How you doing?
We're doing great.
We're good.
Thank you guys
Thanks
for
having us.
Thank you guys for coming on. This is Sirhan was easier. Mike Fulfrey was easier. This has been the hardest guest to have on with you two.
And you know how much we love you, so it's going to be great.
So every time I see myself on video, I want to shoot myself.
Double ditto.
I think we all do.
I feel very awkward.
Yeah, me too. I feel awkward right now.
Yeah.
How do I look, Markella? I look all right?
Everyone looks very good.
All right, good. So episode 9. So we have the broker owners, the founders of Signature Premier Properties. Super excited to have you guys on. So jumping right into it, for those that are living under a rock and maybe don't know who you guys are, right? So maybe some people in like LA or Toronto that are listening. Can you give like a little bit of a brief, background and kind of like summary as to, what you guys do, how you started Signature and so on and so forth? Can you give us a little shtick here?
You want to go? You want me to go?
You go first.
I started Signature in 2007 with
Good
a
time
woman.
to start it, right?
Yeah, with another agent. We did it together, and it was tough. The market was terrible. It was the 2008 crash, the Great Recession. Mm-hmm. But just built it one agent at a time. That's it.
What
All
made
about
you guys, what made you at that time think like when everything is crashing, like let's start our own company? It's kind of
because I had a construction company that was crashing and had to save money on commissions, so I had to do it anyway. I could. So let's open a real estate company. That'll save a couple bucks.
He was looking for land. He was looking for land.
I was looking for land. I never thought of it as anything that could turn into what it is. Wow. It was more, save a couple bucks on brokerage. I had to tighten up. We were doing a lot of building. Things were tough.
I didn't know that. That's
really
funny.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, Kathy and I used to work together. We were coach realtors back in the
early 90s.
Early 90s. And we became friends back then. And then Kathy went and opened the Century 21. I went the building route, and we just reconnected. How
did you guys wind up
we don't agree on that.
What is there, two separate stories?
Two stories to that. No, the truth is, I was Century 21, and it came time where I thought I'd retire and move down south. My children were down there, and as the stars would align, Pete and I sat down one day over a glass of wine, and I wasn't going to close. I was going to move over to Signature as a manager, but not a manager, if you believe that. And 6 months later, we decided to be partners and take our 3 offices we had at that point.
What year was that? So you started it in 07?
I started in 07. Kathy came on 2 years later.
Yeah, about 2 years later.
2 years later, and I can't do it without her, so we do it together.
You guys are the best tag team in real estate.
So you're sweet for that. Pete had an office in Huntington. That's his original office. Actually, when he first opened it, I remember noticing that he had just opened it. I thought, he's crazy. He's on a one-way street in Huntington Village. How's that going to work? And then all of a sudden, I was working at a one-way street in Huntington.
Yeah. So the rest is history.
The rest is history.
The rest is history. We still enjoy what we do. Yep. We built it one agent at a time. Now we have 1,300.
We just
And how many? So 1,300 agents, and how many offices?
We have 19 offices.
We're
opening in Setauket, so we're gonna have 20 offices.
We'll have 20. Yeah.
Wow. So you guys started in 07. The market's literally crashing. You guys worked together in the past. You were just looking for land, and now you built arguably the #1 real estate company on Long Island, and soon to be everywhere else.
The truth is, we talked about this morning over breakfast. We kind of look over our shoulder like, is this real?
We never have a plan.
Right?
Yeah.
But I find sometimes that's like the best way to do it, because if you ask me right now, like when I go on other people's podcasts, they're like, well, what's your 2-year plan, your 5-year plan? Like, I don't really know right now.
You remember when someone asked us early on, we were new together, we were partners at that point, and someone said, what's your business plan? And we kind of looked at each other like, do you have one?
Pete had it written down on a piece of paper in his back pocket.
Yeah, we still have that. We didn't even have it.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
We watched Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Well, so building this company, like, did you guys have trials and tribulations? Like, when was there, or I guess, what was like the time where you're like, holy crap, like, if you build it, they will come? When was it when you guys finally realized, like, this is getting real? We're competing with these top companies on the island, and now not only competing with them, but becoming number one.
So when was it for you?
Well, for me, I never looked at the competition in the early days.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do. Now I'm obsessed with it. I look at market share every day and who's up, who's down,
He's
where are
refreshing
we.
the Zillow app like it's
Yeah,
I
like
never
we
look.
could be like having the best month in our history, and if our market share is lower than the previous month, then I'm like, well, that's just because the market's good.
Right.
But we're not doing well, and we got to get out there and recruit, and we're just interested in having the best people work for us. We want good people.
Of course.
You know, we actually want to thin the herd a little bit, to be honest with you, because, you know.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. What but was there any, like, thinking back on it, was there a time where you guys called each other like, holy shit, we did it?
I think I know when. I think when we went to Dix Hills, that was our 4th office.
Mm-hmm.
And then I felt like we were going to take this somewhere, and it just kept coming. But I think when we went to the Dix Hills office, we had a great manager in place. We had a great group of people who walked across the street from one company to our company, and
that's awesome.
It just felt right. It felt like it was going in the right direction.
And you guys are going on these recruiting meetings, so there's 1,300 agents, right?
Yeah.
That's what you said. So you guys are, and I know this from personal experience, but also just from talking to you guys, like, you go on every single recruiting appointment. I don't know how you guys both don't weigh 800 pounds. Like, you guys literally, you go, how many diners were you at yesterday?
I'm getting there. Getting close.
But you guys are actually, and that's what I love so much. So for those that, again, don't know, I recently joined the Signature family, joined the brokerage, and, you know, it's so crazy to see what you guys actually have to offer. And I feel like a lot of people, including myself at the time, aren't aware of it. You know, they don't see the Northport, you know, headquarters and all that you guys have to offer. They don't see the support. But the coolest thing for me is just that, like, A, we're doing this, and B, like, I could call you at any point in time, and I get the owner of the company. So I could call Pete and say, hey, I want to open up an office in Las Vegas. And you're like, yeah, all right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
You know,
let's do
but
it.
You're not calling the owner of, who I don't even know who it is, Compass or Element or any of these other places. Like, it's you guys. You know, when you go on a recruiting meeting, it's you two. It's not a manager, or it's not an agent, or it's not, you know, someone hired to recruit. You're getting you guys, which I think is like the most amazing part of it.
And we pride ourselves on that. It's important. Listen, if you're going to take a leap of faith in us, we're going to have your back.
Yeah.
And it's a challenge as we get larger and larger. You know, it's hard, but we do our best. You know.
Yeah.
And we built the company on culture, but.
And I love also too, for those listening, you guys did such a great job of making it where it feels like it's a brick and mortar and like a family environment, but also having a little bit of the corporate aspect, so it's kind of both, right? Because you need a little bit of so people take you serious.
Corporate's a curse word in our business.
It's a dirty word.
All right, so
dirty
make
word.
sure we beep that out, please.
I'm only kidding. That's a good part. We like to say headquarters, but we have this. We pride ourselves on the structure, but we want the feel of a mom and pop.
Yeah.
Mom and pop on steroids. That's how we say we are.
And you guys do a really good job of it, and that's what I love the most about it, is that I can call you guys at any point in time, and I can reach you, and any idea that I have, whether, you know, hey, we need to rent a helicopter for a video, like, you guys are on board with it, and I love that so much because there's no red tape, I don't have to ask 15 people for something, or, you know what I mean? And you guys are available, so whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I mean, I'm sure you have agents that are calling you at 11 o'clock at night when they had a couple of drinks, but that's part of, you know, that's part of the course, you know, when you're giving out your cell number.
But you know what, like, when we say you're calling, we know it's going to be a fun call because you're
Right.
such a good energy. You have great ideas that, you know, you're a little
Thank you.
younger than us, that we want to learn from you.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So we're going to play a little game here. I'm going to tell you guys my first impression of you guys and what I think now, and you guys have to do the same. So we met a couple times throughout the years, you know, doing our recruiting, dating, and, you know, we got lunch and diners and whatever, wine. So when I first met you guys, I thought you were too nice.
Oh.
I'm like, this can't be real. This has to be a full crock of shit. Like, there can't be these genuine nice people. Like, this doesn't exist. Now that I'm working under you and for you, I see that you guys are the real deal. You guys are that nice.
Oh.
You are that genuine. You are that caring. And everything that you told me that you were going to help me with, you've done. And you've gone above and beyond for it. So maybe you guys don't give your first impression of me, but I'm kidding. But genuinely, like, that's truly how I feel. And, you know, anytime you make a decision like that, it's very nerve-wracking because
Big decision.
I have the team too. So it's not like I'm just worrying about myself and my family. I have 14 other people that are working with me that I have to worry about. So the decision that went into it was, you know, a lot of sleepless nights, I'll put it that way. But I have to tell you that it was the best decision I ever made. So thank you.
Thank
I
you.
love you guys very much. You do so much for us. So
So
now it's
proud
your
of you.
turn. So first impression versus how I actually am. Do you think this kid's crazy?
Well, first impression was great,
Yeah.
but I still remember calling you and saying it was a waste of time, and you're like, "Why?" And I said, "Because we don't have a chance.
Yeah.
We're not going to get Dan O'Neill. He's fucking killing it. He's got a team of 20. There's no chance we're going to get him."
Well, on a side note, we were very impressed. We followed you for a long
Thank
time, and what he just said is exactly true. I'm like, why? Why can't we try? We can get him. He'll love us. No, we were watching you for a long time. Very
Thank you.
impressive.
Yeah.
And
we,
you know,
we recruit, dating, whatever. We went on a couple of recruiting meetings throughout the years.
yeah, what you're great at. Well, you're great at a lot of things, but just doing
Except
this
golf.
and social media and video, it's all
Yeah.
the stuff of the future. And we know we need to get more involved with it. We've resisted, but we realize it's the
our age.
future.
But you guys are naturals.
yeah.
You guys really are naturals. You would think that you do this every single day. I mean, think about it. You do this every day. It's just there's no camera. In front
It's
of
so funny because you do inspire us. Because when I watched you on your raft yesterday, I'm like, Pete,
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That was pretty cool.
What can we,
That was pretty cool.
What can we do that doesn't involve getting on a raft?
you. Please
And I've
don't.
been on a listing presentation with Dan, and
Rocks.
he,
Yes, I have too.
he wowed the guy.
You
Wow.
wowed us, yeah.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Working hard. That's the biggest thing. And just trying to be different. And I think that's what Signature is too. So my second favorite thing, or maybe it's tied equally for my favorite things about Signature, as I pump you guys' tires even more, is the philanthropy. So when I was
us
going
too.
through the recruiting process and meeting with everybody, what I really loved the most and what I thought aligned mostly with my team and what we're trying to do is how much you guys give back to the community. Not even just the agents, but the community in general. So I mean, between the shred-a-thons, between the drives everywhere, between the
Easter basket.
Easter,
backpacks.
it's everything. You have your own pantry too, right?
We
Yeah.
do. We're
You
really
do.
proud
Food
of that.
donation pantry.
Yes, we do.
I can't even keep up with half of it. It's mind blowing. But you guys do so much for the community and so much giving back, and I kind of have lived by that my entire life too. And now I'm starting to have an influence on the community, and I'm able to do more and more. But that was what I really, really loved about you guys too. So can you dive into a little bit about the philanthropy, what you guys have done, maybe what you're doing next? Because I know that you have a million other things that are coming up for the people that are at home that maybe don't know.
So, what was your favorite thing we've done?
Well, it's funny because when the first thing we did was crazy. It was I used to have mixed feelings about fundraisers because I always used to think I'd be like, what are they even raising money for? This seems so self-serving, right?
Yeah.
All you'd see is the people.
Mm-hmm.
So I was building a house over in Old Chester Hills, and I'm an animal lover.
Yep.
And I drove by a little shelter, and they had 3 acres of land in the back. So, you can never find lots on MLS. So I was soliciting, and I went over there, and I wanted
Everything
to see
starts with land.
I wanted to see if they
All
wanted to
starts
sell
with
their
real
lots. I wanted to see if they wanted to sell their lots. And she's like, no, we have no interest. I said, well, what are you doing with the land? She said, nothing. I go, why don't you make it a run for the animals?
Wow.
She said, they're stuck in cages all day. She said, well, that's been our dream, but it's not in the budget. We could hardly feed them.
Wow.
So I called Kathy and I said, what do you think? You want to make a dog park? So I called her. I'm like, what if we did it? She goes, you would do that? I go, absolutely.
That's awesome.
We didn't even get a permit. We didn't sign any.
There's no secrets at
We
Signature.
didn't sign any insurance waivers.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
you want us to do it? We went in there. We
Slayed
cleared
it.
the land.
Wow.
I had the dozer nearby. They pulled the stumps. We sent an email out to the agents. Who wants to get involved? They came on the weekends. We cleared up the lot. We fenced it. We sodded it, right?
We sodded it. We did agility.
Yeah, we went crazy. We did agility equipment for the animals and this and
God.
that. And then we just left. And we said, here's your doggy park. We wanted to do a good deed.
Oh, that's
right?
awesome.
When I tell you the result of this, animal people
Yeah.
are very passionate about their animals.
It's a big community.
We probably had 10 agents come to Signature
Amazing.
because they had to meet with the people who did the doggy park. We probably had 10 listings from people who had to list with the company that did the doggy park.
Wow.
It was
And
really
what happened,
great.
they were so touched by what we did, we didn't even promote it. We were just trying to do something nice. And they called,
You were just looking for land. You just wanted to build something.
and they called every news outlet. They called
Wow.
Everyone. News 12.
everybody.
Yep.
News 12. They called the Long Islander. And all of a sudden, we're seeing what we did on TV,
Wow.
and our phones started lighting up. So, we kind of changed our feeling about it and we realized that, when you do good for the right reasons, it usually comes back tenfold.
Yep.
And that's more money to do more good with, and it's just a win-win.
Yep.
So we're trying to do some good in the world, and we know when you do it for the right reasons, it comes back tenfold.
And I think just a footnote to that, what I loved about that project was the agents were very passionate about it. So it brought us together as a family to do a good thing, and we did it as a family, as a group, and everyone, it was feel good, win-win for everyone involved. It was cool.
Well, I mean, and it's inspiring too. Like, you know, it makes everyone else that works for you. Everyone wants to run through a brick wall for you guys because you're the best. You know, like,
Now, if they would all stop calling us to,
No, call us.
to sponsor their nephew's Little League game, that would be cool.
that's so funny. Oh man, there's 30 Little League teams right now with the signature logo on the back.
You know, we've got it on, we've got it under control, and we hear everybody's options or suggestions, but we pick what we're gonna do.
So now we'll circle back to the part of the exclusivity. So what I am seeing from my team, you know, it's kind of a mini brokerage. As weird as that sounds, you know, because we are, you know, doing our own stuff. We're providing our own leads. Like we're a brokerage within the brokerage, I guess to say. But it's weird because you have all these different personalities, and you have making sure that everyone's doing well. And the exclusivity part of it is what I think makes our culture so good. Is that, you know, I'm not just saying yes to everyone that comes on the team that might not be a good fit, and I don't want to have a team of 40 people that I feel responsible for that are not going to succeed. So if there are 14 agents that work with me right now, I'm happy to say all 14 are absolutely crushing it, and that makes me happier than myself doing well. But if I had a team that was 40 people working with me and 14 of the 40 were doing well, I don't know how my head would hit the pillow. So to round out the question, how do you guys keep it so that you're not just taking on everyone, right? Because I'm sure there's people reaching out to you every single day.
Every day.
How do you maintain that exclusivity, and how do you make sure that the people that are under the umbrella are doing well? Because 1,300 agents, you guys have your own lives, you guys have kids, you have families, you got to have some sort of balance. So how do you kind of maintain, you know, that 1,300 number? Do you see it going above that? And how do you maintain that exclusivity?
Why don't you start?
Oh, good job.
Throw you right on the bus.
So we're very selective on who we hire. That's why we try to meet everyone. How do we keep them all going? We have a great management team. We have the best management team in the business, and you know, our trainers, our managers make sure everybody's got the attention they need, the tools they need. Quality control is important for Pete and I. Do we make mistakes? Absolutely, every day of the week, but we're quick to fix them.
Right.
As Pete mentioned before, we're thinking about thinning the herd strictly because it's our reputation, and not only is it our reputation, but it's your reputation. It's all the agent's reputation. So we try to meet everybody, get to know them, and
which is insane because it's so many.
Well, you know what happens, Dan? We go after the Dan O'Neills of the world, right? So we're focused on the gold, and then you know we'll have an agent whose cousin's getting their license, and we get busy, and we don't meet that person. Turns out they work part-time. They never do any business. Serial killer.
They're skinning cats in their basement.
Yeah, exactly. So to be honest, you know, we like to say where we're doing great and where we need to do better. And we've kind of dropped the ball there a little bit as we got busy. Because when we were, you know, during the whole COVID thing, we were doing a lot of Zoom classes. Yeah. And I was teaching a class.
I want you to
Zoom,
deliver this politically correct.
I can't out the person because it would be an embarrassment. But, you know, I'm teaching this class and I'm distracted by the stupidity of some of the questions that are coming my way, and the way some of the people are dressed and the way they're looking in their house and the way they're acting. And I'm
you can't say this.
I called Kathy after the Zoom class and I just said, "What the F was that?" I said, that was an embarrassment. I go, when did we lose quality control? Right. And it made us look in the mirror. And going forward now, we are going to be more exclusive. We don't want anybody with a pulse. Right. You know, we're starting a whole thing called Signature University, which is really intense training. Awesome. And if you can't complete it, you're not coming to Signature. It's like, we want to make sure, right?
Yeah, 100%. The Signature University is a great thing to talk about. For brand new agents, you know, everyone wants to be an agent these days. The market's good, right? So they have to go through our university, which we've put a lot of thought and time into, and we're conscious. We're very aware.
Yeah. But it's easier said than done too, because just like you said, I mean, you meet someone once, you meet somebody twice, or you get a referral from a friend or a family, whatever it is.
It's hard, and you know, you give everybody a chance. But you know, I keep saying, I hate that, but our plan is going to be if somebody's been with us and the feedback's not great or they're not doing any business, then you know what? This is a real career. Then it's not for them, and it's not mean. It's time to sit down, have a talk, and say maybe this isn't for you.
Maybe this isn't the best fit.
Because
Or
we're
what
not
can we-
proud that we have 1,300 agents. If you've met, what if half of them aren't selling? We'd rather have 600 agents
Right.
that are selling, doing business, and that's the goal. We want to be the company that per agent does more deals than any other company per agent, and that's what we're working on now.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You know,
And you agree with that, right? It's kind of like your own team. What do you?
That's what I, to round it out, that's what I was saying, because I'm on a much smaller scale, but it does feel like that. And I do have people that think I have the secret sauce, and they DM me and they message me, and it's the same thing as, you meet someone once or twice and that's great, but you have to be careful with who you bring on.
100%.
And it is a reflection of the same way that you guys, someone that works with Signature, is a reflection of me and my team. It's the same way that if I go out and do something stupid, it's a reflection on you guys, or my team, the same thing. So it's important to be mindful of it, and I'm trying to work on it every single day.
And that's why I hate some of the other models out there where, agents could go out and get 100% right off the bat and just pay fees, this and that, because the only way the brokerage can make money is just to take on a zillion people, but they're not bringing enough money to have the to be able to educate everybody and have proper training.
Right.
So it kind of bastardize the whole industry.
Yeah, I agree.
And gives us all a bad name.
So what is your favorite thing about being the broker owners of the company?
Getting to meet everybody, getting to know them, getting to know their family. I truly enjoy watching people succeed and helping people get a career for life. And the people, the agents.
Okay. Pete?
That's a good question. Depends on the day. Some days I want to.
Yin and yang.
Some days I want to sail off, and I'm like, it's not worth it. But
we all have days like that.
Yeah, of course. I have that thought 4 times a day. So
no, but for me, it's about the people.
Yeah.
Most of my best friends are in the company.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's cool.
And Kathy and I, we still have fun. We still laugh every day.
Every
we still
day.
call each other 10 times every day. And is there drama? Yeah. Do we put out a lot of fires? Of course. She puts out more than me, more than I do. But we're still enjoying what we're doing. My daughter's coming to work for us now.
That's awesome.
Kathy has 2 daughters that work for us, and
that was always the plan, right?
Always the plan.
We started with we have 6 daughters amongst us. This is going to go to the kids.
Yeah, and we've been approached, and we're not selling. We're not going anywhere. We're gonna
stick to the plan.
Stick to the plan, and not that we have a plan, but we're gonna take it as as far as we can take it.
So what is your least favorite thing?
Drama.
People not being nice.
It's so crazy to me that even exists.
Yeah.
It's so easy just to be like a good person, a nice person, and be there for other people. I don't understand why people are mean or dramatic. We're all here for the same reason, right? We're trying to make a deal happen, whether it's agent to agent or manager to agent or agent to consumer. Like the objective is to help each other because we're all teammates here in theory.
Well, you got to remember, 95% of the people out there are great, and the 5% they'll torture you and they'll bring you down. But you just got to remember that the other 95% are great, and you got to celebrate them.
So we just keep saying, "Be kind."
Yeah,
just be kind.
But that's the simplest thing to do, and it's like
residential real estate's very emotional for the buyer, the seller, the agent, and sometimes it just gets the better of them. We just bring them right back down to where they got to be.
I mean, you have to be. So, I mean, even on my side of things, like I feel like a therapist sometimes.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that you guys get that on a bajillion times more higher level than that.
A little bit.
How do you guys? So Pete and I were talking about this the other day. I try and go out with my team as much as humanly possible. That not every single night, so it doesn't affect business. But it's good to sometimes get out there, and especially with COVID in the last year, like we weren't able to network. We didn't have any of the signature events, which we were all so excited for, obviously. So it's a little bit tougher to hang out with people and see people in person, and that's really where you make the biggest connection. Whether it's golf or going out with agents. So you guys do a great job of you guys take your agents out, you go to dinner, and it builds a culture, and it's something that I'm trying to model my team off of as an inspiration from you. It's the best way to keep people happy is being in front of them and being with them and getting to know them. People
need to know you care.
Yeah.
So we were out last night. We go out once a week with our agents, one office at a time.
We call it date night.
Date night. We go out on date night once a week. We enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see the agents in that office. They get to see each other. After COVID, everyone's just happy to see each other, touch each other. But culture is that's who we are. Culture.
Yeah. You know, I feel that COVID hurt us as a company. I feel it set us back a hair.
Agreed.
You know, we tried our best.
Do you think
we would reach out to agents and call them and text them and how you doing and this and that. But it's tough because one of the allures about our company is we're a very social company and we do a lot of stuff together.
Fun things.
And we couldn't do it. I finally sent an email out the other day to the company. Some people didn't receive it well. But I said, listen, it's time to get back to life.
Oh, yeah.
Half of us have been vaccinated. Half of us, another 30% have already had COVID.
Yep.
I said, if you haven't had COVID or been vaccinated and you're in the bottom of the ninth, stay home.
Yeah.
If you've been vaccinated, let's get back to life. Come on.
Yep.
So we try to follow the rules. We're trying to get the agents to come in, stay compliant, but we got to get back to life, right?
Yeah. No, I agree.
And we're going to, once this is over, we have a lot of great stuff planned. We're not just pocketing the money from not having a Christmas party. We are going to have a Christmas party like you've never seen.
We're going to have a holiday party like you've never seen.
Pete's new boat's going to say Pete's new boat's going to say Christmas party on it. That's the name of the boat.
Yeah. We just rented out the Adventureland for just signature.
Wow.
For a day of fun, just signature.
That's cool.
It's
It's in July.
It's in June.
I've never been on a roller coaster before.
I'll be your partner. Let's do it.
I won't go.
Come on, we'll do it.
No, I swear to God, I really. I mean, I'll go. I'll have fun. I'll be the one drinking on the floor.
We've arranged for that
I'm
too.
not going on a roller coaster.
No, so
I will.
we'll sit at the bar.
I'd rather get a root canal.
Yeah.
Real men don't, huh?
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. We got a lot of good things planned.
So
Armando.
what is the future of Signature? Where do you see? I mean, we were just making fun of each other in a way, saying that we both don't know. But I mean, if you really like,
What's the future?
what is your vision for the next? I don't know, like 2 years, 5 years.
Keep doing what we're doing.
Keep doing what we're doing.
Keep doing what we're doing. Hire and attract the best agents out there. Make sure we have the tools we have. We're always in growth mode. That's who we are. So we're looking to expand to the East End for sure.
Nice.
We've decided both forks at this point, north and south.
We'd like to be in Greenport and Southampton. But our goal, I would say our 3 to 4 year goal, because that's the goal that could be achievable, is we want to be number 1 on Long Island.
100%.
Right
And
now,
that's going to happen.
I
right
think
now
it's
we're
gonna
number
happen.
3. And,
I like to always put the footnote. We are number 3, which is a good position, but we are the youngest kids on the block, right?
Yeah.
We're the newest company. So number 3 is okay. We want to be 1.
I mean, how many in the last 6 months? How many? Like, every day I see like another top agent. I see all these people coming over, and it's amazing.
It amazes us too.
Well, there's been a lot of movement because of COVID as well, where people, and we've lost a couple during COVID, and that drives us crazy when we lose somebody. Right?
It does.
Drives us crazy because what did we do wrong? What could we have done different? And if we ever lose someone, my goal is we're going to get that person back.
Yeah.
If
that's the most
we
important
want
thing.
them
Is
If we want them back.
Yeah, exactly. but that's the most important thing too is not burning the bridge. Because the grass isn't always greener.
And we pride ourselves on that. We try to send them off with a hug and a kiss most times.
Yeah.
In the past, most people who have left us have
always come back. Yep.
I mean, I've heard stories that you literally built somebody a house one of your agents on like a handshake. Is that true?
Well, you built that was in
not one of
construction.
the agents. My construction company I built on a handshake.
Wow.
I'd rather go to the grave getting screwed a couple times than being the guy that counts colored copies and locks supply closets.
That is crazy. So you literally built someone a house on a handshake.
Oh yeah. And then when I gave him the final bill, I said, "It's not my fault. You gave your wife carte blanche. This is what it cost." But it wasn't. He was a friend of mine, so
yeah.
I can't say I would do that with a stranger.
But that's who you are. You're very kind-hearted.
That was why I asked, because that is like the nicest thing in the world to do for somebody, and I pride myself on being a nice person, but I don't know if I would do that. So last couple questions: work-life balance. So when I came over to you guys, there was a lot of stuff going on. I was buying my house. We had all the accounting kind of flying around because we were switching companies with the post-COVID or mid-COVID business. It was crazy. So I found myself a little bit burnt out, and luckily Claire, I love her to death, the manager in Smithtown in our temporary office, I guess, she really, really made it a point to help me and find me the necessary help, which in turn was Sue, who is, I again love her also to death, and she's been an absolute game changer.
Sue Grasso?
Yes.
Yeah.
Funny. She's funny, isn't she?
She cracks me up.
Great at her job, but she's a great woman. Yeah.
She kills me. She makes me laugh more than anybody.
She makes me laugh.
So she helped me find Sue, and Sue has been a game changer for my business. So now I'm able to go out and play golf every once in a while and give myself a little bit of a break, because what I was doing was really unhealthy. So how do you guys, between all the recruiting meetings, between the phone calls at 11 o'clock at night, between the fires you're putting out, which I can only imagine, How do you guys find yourselves having any sort of balance?
We travel.
But how do you travel?
I personally make it my point once a month to take a long weekend or do something,
Okay.
so that I'm my best me I can be for everyone else.
Right.
You need to step away every now and then.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's all about hiring great people and putting a good team around you.
Right.
Yeah, I
Because,
agree. But you
you know,
travel
that-
too. You go away a lot.
I do.
Yeah.
Like
But
my
you're able to
work-life
do that
balance,
because-
I'm playing more than I'm working half the time. You
Right.
know, I like to fish, I like to golf, and I get it done because I know
Yeah.
I got Kathy,
Yeah.
and I got Joe, and I know I got Claire, and
You got
know,
a
we
good
have-
team.
Right.
We have such a good management team that it's going pretty well right now. It's going really well.
I found that to be the biggest thing too. Is like now that I have Sue and John and Bree and Jake and Justin and everyone on the team, like and Rudy, I could pass stuff off to them, and now I don't have to be there 24/7. I'm able to kind of take a little bit of a step back.
it's hard it's hard to give up control.
Yeah.
Right. You just got to learn
We're
to,
getting
or you
pretty good at
can't.
that.
You'll never grow to your potential if you can't.
You'll hit a plateau. You won't get over it.
So I just want to add, we do have a great management team, but we have a great support system as a whole too. We're very blessed. We have the best in the business on every aspect.
All right, so as we wrap this up, I'm going to give the recruiting pitch to anyone that's listening, maybe that is not with Signature. And then you guys can maybe tell why you think that if you were a new agent or if you're a succeeding agent, why they should join Signature, okay? So I'll pretend like I'm at the Highlight Diner in Comac.
Yeah.
So you should join Signature not only because of the culture, not only because of the philanthropy, not only because of the training, not only because of the education and the managers and the parties and the Christmas parties, not only because they're going to be the #1 company in the next couple of years, not only because you guys will do anything for your agents, but because of you two, because you guys are such good and genuine people.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
And what you say, you do. There's no bullshit. There's no red tape. It's not, I'm going to say the word so we can blurt that out. And what's cool is I can say, and we can bleep that out too, obviously.
But you can't say that.
But I can say that in front of you guys because you guys are normal people, you guys are caring people, and you guys are cool, and you're here for your agents.
No, we appreciate that, Dan.
So-
That was good, right?
Yeah.
You're
Maybe
good.
I would leave out the F-bomb if I was at the Highlight Diner. There we go.
We are what you see. You see what you get.
Exactly. So if you guys want to give like a little bit of an elevator pitch as we wrap this up to anyone listening, or did I do a good enough job?
You did a great job. We didn't come here for an infomercial for recruiting. We just,
That's funny.
we came here to learn.
Yeah.
We came here. We're inspired by what you're doing, and we
Thank
know
you.
we have to do more of it.
You
kind
are.
of like being under the radar and not being on video. But at the same time, if we want to grow and be #1, it is the future, and we're going to have to start.
We're building a green room because of you, because you've inspired us. We're committed to each other to do 1 video a week. It'll probably go nowhere, but we're
Wow.
going to try. You've really inspired us.
But that's a poor attitude. You can't have the attitude. You got to think. Listen, everyone loves you, so you're gonna have if there's 1,300 agents with Signature, at least there's gonna be 1,300 views, and then I'm sure there'll be a couple other people that are peeking in on it. So
Oh, goodness
you'd
gracious.
be very
Instead of
surprised.
emails to the company, we should start doing
We're gonna.
videos.
Remember
right?
we said
are?
we are.
We'll see.
Make sure you end it with the term "Let's go."
Let's go.
There we go. All right.
on.
So where can everyone find you guys? Facebook, Signature website. What's like the best way to?
Our cell phones are the
Okay.
easiest, probably. I'm 631-902-0400.
631-332-0118.
You guys are gonna have a ton of people calling you now, like 12 at
Anytime.
night, 2 a.m. Like it's gonna get worse now.
Should we get that out of there?
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate it.
You're the best, Dan.
Dan, we
Appreciate it.
love you.
That is a wrap. Thank you. Love you guys too. Wrap for episode 9 of the Dan O'Neill Show here at Coca Interactive with my special guest, Peter Morris Kathy Viard.
Thank you.
See you guys next time.